Homelessness is exploding in the state of California, particularly in the cities, and if you've been there recently, you know what we're talking about. According to HUD here in Washington, 114,000 homeless people reside in that state. That's a quarter of the national total. Bill Wells is the mayor of El Cajon, California, near San Diego. He said that rather than fighting homelessness, lawmakers in his state are actively promoting homelessness. While panhandling in 10 cities enjoy legal protection, he says the homeless have learned they can commit petty crimes with impunity, which is shocking to hear. Mayor Wells joins us tonight. Mr. Mayor, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Tucker.
It sounds so perverse it's hard to believe. The state of California, you say, is encouraging homelessness. How?
Well, there's been a legislative philosophy that's really encouraging normalizing homelessness. And we've seen several laws that have come by. AB 109 reclassified 70 crimes from serious to non-serious. And the result of that was about 8,000 people were released from the prisons, and 1,000 of those people ended up on the streets. We know that about 10% of all homeless populations are former prisoners. And that's just one of the many laws.
10% of all homeless in the state of California are recently released prisoners?
Yeah, it's true. I should point out that besides being the mayor of the city, I'm also a mental health professional. I've done this kind of work for about 30 years. I have a doctorate in psychology, and I work in an inner city ER. And I can tell you that most of the homeless people that I run across are involved in drugs and alcohol, and a lot of the new laws have a lot to do with that. For example, Proposition 47 reclassified many of the felonies, and Senate Bill 180 made it very difficult to send people back to prison who are involved in drugs and alcohol. And a lot of the homeless advocates very much want to ignore anything that has to do with hinting that some of the homeless people have drug and alcohol problems, when if you ask any police officer or ER doctor, we know it's probably at 90% or above of people in the homeless population are drug or alcohol abusers.
But why, and it's obvious when you're there, but why would officials want to lie about something like that?
Well, I think that homeless advocates really are trying to protect the system in which they give away money through various programs, and they feel that if people feel that the people that are getting these benefits are drug addicts or alcoholics, they'll somehow not qualify for these programs.
But what about the people who aren't homeless, but who aren't rich, and just you live in a neighborhood, you're excited to buy the house, and all of a sudden you got a lot of people living on your street? What does it do to their quality of life?
Well, it's been terrible for the people of my city. We've seen about a 35% increase in homelessness in El Cajon, but in the beach cities, I know you're from the beach area, we've seen over 100% increase in homelessness in many of the beach cities. And this has a lot to do with methamphetamines and the increase in drug production that comes from Mexico. And so it's terrible for the quality of life.
Meanwhile, cities in California are cutting down racist trees because that's the real problem. Mayor Wells, I'm sorry to hear what's happened to your city, and Godspeed fighting back against it. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.